previously on Unranked.
Do you need to lie to a loved one? Alex's ambulance chasing law firm.
Before I got home, I turned off the Ring notifications, the camera recording, and the motion alert. This is while Dan and I are watching the US Open. I go upstairs and she goes, "What are you guys doing down there? Like, you're just sitting there?" And I make up this thing that I'm like, "Oh, I think I left the grill propane tank outside. It's not good to leave out in the rain." I don't know what the fuck. So she bought it.
Now, every time it rains, you got to go outside.
My heart was racing because I was going to be caught in so many lies. I'm like, no, what do you mean we're sitting there? I was like, what are you talking about?
Does she think you're having like an affair with Dan?
Well, yeah. I mean, the lies, man. I'm telling you. That's why I was like, if I get caught, the number of lies that I will be caught in.
Hello and welcome to the Unranked Podcast. It's episode 392. This is Christian Humes here with Alex Tuna.
Hello.
Dan Weine.
Hello.
Tom Caswell.
Hello, hello.
All right, Tuna, you got to stop with the lies.
Well, I already lied again today.
Is this a new segment, Tuna's Lies?
So Britt got home from work and kid was up from a nap. And I went upstairs to say hi and everything. And then my kid ran to the basement door and looked at me kind of like, please. So, and I was like, "Do you want to go downstairs?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was like, "All right." So we brought her downstairs. And then Britt was like, "Oh, I'm just going to make myself a snack and then I'll meet you down there." And I was like, "Oh, all right." I totally forgot the freaking PSVR.
Oh my God.
Is just sitting here. So about 5 minutes later, she comes down and sits down and that's when I realized. I was like, "Oh no, it's right here on the couch." So then, a couple of minutes go by and I see her eyeing it and she does like a double take because she definitely realizes that it's white and not black, like the one she had tried on. So she looks at me and she smiles and she goes, "Is this the one that you wanted to buy?" And I was like, "Yes." So I didn't lie there. I did want to buy it. And then she goes, "I thought you said you weren't going to buy this." And I said, "Well, I didn't buy it." And she says, "Well, what are you talking about?" And I said, Tom got one for free. So
he stole the thing from last week.
Yeah, nice.
I almost had that in the previously on. It would have been incredible if I did.
Oh my God. You know what's so funny about the situation is that
did she buy it?
So she said, "What do you mean he got one for free? How do you get one for free?" I go, he works at, am I allowed to say where you work?
Yeah. He said it many
Okay.
times.
He works at, I don't know. He works at GameSpot. And she was like, "Oh, so they just gave him one for free?" I'm like, "Why didn't he take it?" And I'm like, "He already has one." So they gave him another one. So he had to get rid of it. So, and then I pointed to the Starfield controller you gave me. And I go, "Remember when he brought over this Starfield controller?"
You gave him a Starfield controller?
I bought one myself and then I got sent one. So I gave it to Tuna. So it was a perfect.
So I said, "Look,
it's
this
a nice
is what
precursor
happens."
to a lie.
And then she just went, "Okay." And that was it,
Wow.
folks. That was it.
You already had the evidence. You already had the, she was,
Yep.
That was
Now,
great.
Tom, all the pressure's on you.
I mean, there's no pressure. I can just
Because months from now, when we all forget this ever happened, and you end
There's
up over at Tuna's house or something, she's gonna be like, "Oh, thanks for buying the things we didn't have to." And you're gonna be like, "What?"
I'll drop a thing next time I'm over. I'll be like, "How are you enjoying that PSVR?"
No, there is no chance that she will even remember or care enough to even point that out, to test it.
It's really funny.
Test the waters.
It's really funny that, I thought I knew eventually she'd catch you. I really thought it would be a situation where you were wearing it, playing it exactly, and it was like you being ambushed by a vampire in the night. But it was like actually you invited the vampire into your home.
Yes. Well, the thing is, she doesn't come down here unless the kid is down here.
Sure.
So otherwise it just doesn't happen. Like the only time I think I asked her to come down here one time was to help me hang those posters. I don't know, something where I needed like a level eye. I was like, is this level? Does this look level to you? And that was it. So there's no reason for her to be down here. None. Right. And anytime she does, if she has to go to our second fridge, then she's not taking a gander over in the nerd area.
Yeah.
So, the nerd area.
The nerd
area.
Yeah,
she doesn't take a gander over here.
We need a better name for the nerd area.
I like it.
Tuna's fishing hole.
We'll get there. We'll get the fish.
His gaming hole.
So
there you go. Wow.
There it is.
Great. You did it.
More lies have been told.
Successfully deceived your wife yet again.
Can't wait till next week when she sees the bill, the credit card bill, and it's like, oh,
she won't because it's my credit card, not hers.
There you go.
Oh. The only way she's going to find out is if one of you fuckers tell her,
or if she listens to the podcast,
or if she listens to the podcast, which also won't happen.
Yeah.
So,
or if someone from like the anti-Tuna fan club,
right?
If someone
whoever anti
rhymes with, exactly.
Right. See you later.
See you later. If Brit were to hear the pod and she were to hear the explicit details of all of the lies that you've told, how much trouble would you be in?
See, that's interesting. I don't know if she would.
I feel like you'd be more in trouble about bragging about the lying.
I feel like Alex would be on a Alex would be banned from the podcast for like a month.
Would that be the retaliation?
If she heard us being like, "We'll lie for you," well, yeah, okay.
If she heard, I'm not getting invited to July 4th.
Alex being like, "I'm gonna text you guys. You guys are all gonna lie for me," and we're all joking about that, about how like, why does she want to know what Dan and Alex are doing downstairs? Oh, she'd be like, "Fuck your friends."
Yeah, I don't know if she would find it funny or be very annoyed that I lied this much. And that it just came off the tongue like no big deal. And my like, you know, my excuses about lying to her would be, well, they're like little white lies, like they're easy lies, like those are easy ones, like big ones
the hard
are a
ones
lot
are
harder
tougher to get away with, right?
Yeah, much harder. Bigger lies are much harder to get away with. That's why I don't do big things, because I don't want to tell a big lie.
Incredible. What a quote. That's going on the tombstone.
That's gonna go on a t-shirt.
Here lies Tuna Marinello. Didn't do big things because he didn't want to say big lies. Oh my god. That's incredible. That's incredible. What a payoff to the saga.
Yeah.
That's great.
What are you gonna do about the propane tank thing now, though, with the rain? Are you going to bring it in every time? Or?
That has been forgotten about. There's no way that will be remembered. That was such an out of place comment in a.
I mean, it's like a crazy
situation.
Comment.
It's a stupid thing to say. It's like one of those things that like maybe registered for a second. It's like in Ocean's 11 when Brad Pitt tells Matt Damon he's got to like you, but then forget you the second. Sure. Like I feel like that was a statement that was thought of, but like not filed away. Like that was a statement that just went in one ear out the other, like, oh yeah, he's doing something stupid. Like, okay, whatever. There's no way that's coming back.
Amazing.
No way.
Again, cannot wait to hear next week's update.
Let's talk about today's.
Oh, that was quiet.
Yeah, it came through my computer speakers for some reason.
That was interesting.
Oh, this whole the one thing about the previously on is every time I do it, I have to then reshare the sound every time, and I have to remember to do that. Let's talk about today's Pokemon, the 392nd Pokemon in the Pokedex. It is the final evolution of this Pokemon line, and its title is Infernape. I don't feel like we need to ask what this is going to be because we've seen the other two monkey Pokemon that came before it.
It's a firefighting, not type. A monkey.
Sure.
What'd you say?
Actually, Tom,
it's
an
Pokemon.
Ape,
not a good point. Good point. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Infernape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go.
It may,
even though its previous evolution was a fucking monkey.
Yeah, it's a good point.
That's why they're just Pokemon. They're not actually
Yeah.
monkeys or apes or chimpanzees or whatever the hell category.
Or genes.
Orangutan.
Infernape appears to be based on a monkey, maybe. And Infernape may be a combination of Inferno and ape.
Tom, now I have a problem with it. Because when it was just a thing named ape and it was a Pokemon, whatever. But now it's based on a monkey. It's obviously based on an ape. I agree with Tom now.
Thank you.
Bullshit.
Do you like this fact, Tuna? The gold elements in its design, as well as its Japanese name, may be linked to Son Goku.
Saw that.
Sun Wukong.
That was the second sentence in the origin section that I didn't read. I read the first one.
You guys want to hear about one of these Pokedex entries? Let's go with Platinum. It uses unique fighting moves with fire on its hands and feet. It will take any opponent. Boy, I never would have figured that out by looking at it. What do you guys think?
Do you think when they write these Pokedex entries, like they forgot that the previous generation had a different Pokedex entry? Like, what is with these Pokedex entries? Why do they have to be different every generation? It's the same Pokemon.
Well,
is it because it's a different scientist?
Different scientist.
Also lets them say slightly more about the Pokemon, because they're not going to put a bunch of text. They're going to put a single sentence or so, so across 2 games, they can give you 2 different facts. And then you and your friends, when you're trading, can read the Pokedex facts to each other, because that's definitely what kids do. That's what they were hoping, though.
That's the fun part.
The different entries across different generations makes more sense, because that is where you get new professors. Like, each generation has a new professor, but you've got Oak in red and blue. So he's just, depending on which universe you're in, deciding which facts to tell you.
Have communications in the Pokemon world just been cut off to other areas? Like, no scientists can talk.
Bro, they've got video chat. They got video
but
chat.
At the same time, they share no information. Like they always don't know how many Pokemon there are.
It almost feels like there was a Pokemon who wiped out everyone's memory, or all the information of Pokemon was erased from the world, and now they have to learn it again.
Oh, Amnesia.
Yeah, it's Amnesia.
That was good.
Amnesia would be good. Yes.
It's like Mr. Mime, but question marks all over the place.
Oh, it's his mega evolution, or it's his final evolution. Mr. Mime's Mime Jr., Mr. Mime, Amnesia. Great. I think we move on.
Cool pokes.
Yeah. Better. I still think better than Blaziken.
Oh, Hundo P.
Yeah. Better than Blaziken. All right. What's happening? How's everybody doing? What's the word?
What's the scuttlebutt?
I know Tom's had some bad luck this week.
Nice.
Oh, my PSVR is going back to Sony. Yeah.
Have you sent it?
What happened?
I'm waiting on them to send a box.
So Tom, are you gonna make Tuna give his back to you then?
Yeah, Tuna. If I could have the one I gave to you back, that'd be great. Should I text Brett? Should I text Brett to remind you?
To remind me?
Yeah, sure. Actually, that would be the funniest
Tom,
thing you could do.
That would be really fucking funny, Tom, for you to text Brett and be like, hey, like, I don't really know how to say this, but my PSVR is broken. I'm gonna let Alex keep that one, but I need it back for at least like the next month or 2 until this comes back, and he would have to give it to you.
You would, yeah.
Alex, do not piss off Tom.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. No, it's I had this issue where like the bottom, like in the corner of the lenses, you can kind of see like almost like a chromatic aberration effect. And that's just in one corner of the left lens. It expanded and it was fine. It wasn't too much of a problem. But then when I put it on the other day for when we were going to play golf, like the whole left eye was basically just like blotted out. And so I was like, this is unplayable. So unfortunately sending it in hopefully gets repaired, because we were in the swing. The golf swing. And
we're swinging still.
Yeah.
I bought the fucking DLC. Like, I got to get my money's worth. So hopefully.
Did you buy all of it?
Well, whatever courses. I bought the 2 that you recommended. Yeah. But yeah, so hopefully that'll get sorted and it won't cost me anything.
Yeah,
that's the big one. But Tuna, if it does, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that headset that they sent me.
It would be so funny. It'd be so fucked up, but it'd be like one of the funniest things you could ever do.
Would you come clean? Would you come clean?
Oh, 100, I would. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be without a mini golf.
I'm just picturing. I was just trying to picture you like actually handing it to me, and I was like, no.
Actually, no. I'd probably no. I'd probably.
You don't like confrontation? Or hand that thing over?
No, I wouldn't hand it over. I'd probably lie and say I did.
No. I'd have to come over. No. I'd make a point.
Tom would come to their house.
I'd be like, oh, we'll make a visit. Like, I'll come and see the kid, and
yeah, and then I'd give you some random box and just be like, here.
And
I'd be like, oh, this doesn't feel, the weight doesn't quite feel right. Are you sure the PSVR 2 is in this, Tuna?
You know what? I think at that point, I don't think she'd be listening anymore. I think she'd be that'd be it. I don't think she'd care at that point. Like, I think she would just be like, I'm done with this. This is stupid.
She's like, I don't care if you bought it. I don't care.
This is some Curb Your Enthusiasm type shit, though.
It is. It is a curb bit. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was unfortunate. Nice bit of the last week we went on a little boat, a pontoon boat, which in my mind was not a nice boat when I was told it was a pontoon boat. Like, it just reminded me of like something in the bayou or the swamps, like Jungle Cruise thing. Or Lost, maybe. Yes.
When they get saved and then they have to lie and go on the pontoon. It's basically like one of Alex's web of lies. They're like, no, we came from this other island in a pontoon boat.
It was on that level for sure. But it was like it was called, the brand is called Bentley, but it's not the same manufacturer as the car. But it looks very, you could think it was, and it's great. I like boats. I don't love them. But this was, the way that it was is like there was no like front half where like the engine, and I don't know what is in the front half of a boat, but it was just one big couch on either side. It was fat, and then there was the driver's seat in the middle, and it was great. And we were out there with Brooke's friend's mom and some of her friend's family and some of our friends, and it was definitely a much welcome time chilling, hanging on the lake,
chilling and grilling.
Definitely got some sun, definitely got a little burnt on the old shoulders. Walgreens suntan lotion turns out is shite. So
most suntan lotion is, you got to keep reapplying it, and if when you're on a boat, you're not thinking about reapplying all the time.
Brooke is obsessed with suntan lotion, and she just bought like $15 suntan lotion.
Did she get into the good stuff now?
She's into the good stuff.
The good stuff, yeah.
It's
because
called,
you got
sport or something like that.
You got to get the good stuff. Apparently, a lot of American suntan lotion is like really bad and like not like, so people are buying like much nicer. I mean, we got some this summer, and the difference between the stuff I've been using and this like expensive sunscreen was night and day. It's just, it does feel a little bit more gross. Like, it feels like thicker.
It's thicker, but I like
because
that.
It works.
Yes, because it works. Yes, because it works. Yes,
but I like that. Like the regular ones that are like very liquidy. It just
then you feel oily.
Yeah, it's very oily.
I hate that. I actually hate that feeling. So like it's on your fucking fingers, and you're like, oh my
god, and the smell is so much better too.
Yes,
I'm not upset though. It's a purchase well worth making. But so we're on that bougie. Well, I guess not bougie, just working suntan lotion
operation.
I mean, now they're also just a lot more people are wearing these like UV protective shirts because like going in the water, the sunscreen comes off anyway. But I gotta lose more weight because fat guy with a wet shirt, it's never a good look.
No.
It just accentuates it. It just accentuates it.
But in high school, we were too embarrassed to. I mean, I was big in high school, so too embarrassed to take the shirt off. But never even. I was like, you know what? The embarrassment of having a sticky wet shirt outlining this bod is better than people seeing the belly.
Yeah,
full force. Anyway,
great.
That was great.
Sounds like a lovely time.
It was. We went over to a housewarming for Brooke's sister.
Yep.
What did we do on Monday? What did we do on Labor Day? Just I think chores, stuff like that.
Great.
So yeah. Other than watching One Piece, very unexciting week, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
Yeah, we can get to that. Boys?
Can you get anything or just lying?
Just lying.
Just lying, just lies on that. The US Open.
I thought you meant like you were just lying down all weekend. like, oh, what have you been doing, Dan, for last week? Just lying on the bed. Nothing else.
I mean,
both are the same word.
I don't think I don't think we. My daughter turned 2.
Yay.
So she turned 2. It was a great birthday. Again, we didn't have like a real birthday party for her with like friends and stuff because she don't have any friends. So we just did family stuff.
What a loser.
Yeah, when you say it that way, it sounds like you're making fun of her.
It does.
Because she don't have any friends.
She don't got no friends.
Yet. Just say the word "yet" at the end and make it sound so much better.
So she doesn't have any friends yet. I mean, I don't know why you guys care. She's fucking 2.
I don't know if it makes a shit. Better.
It doesn't matter. She's 2 years old. She'll have plenty of friends. So maybe she won't. I don't know. I'll be her friend. So anyway, it was interesting to see. It's really amazing, like how I don't know if it's just like I noticed it or what, but kid turns 2. The cognitive leaps that have been happening in the last like week have been amazing. Kids talking more, definitely expressing what she wants more, having a little bit more of these temper tantrums. But she housed the icing on her cupcake, so that was fun to see. And yeah, she's just been a really cute kid. I gotta say, she's a very sweet kid. I really can't complain. It's a very sweet kid. We have yet, knock on wood, cross your fingers, we have yet to experience a real toddler meltdown.
You've now just entered what people call the terrible twos, have you not?
We have.
It's the precipice.
We have.
You're not at the end of the journey, you're at the beginning.
You're really jinxing yourself here.
Yeah, but I mean, I know a lot of other parents who have kids who were before 2, like they were either hitting or biting or acting out or whatever. I mean, she really doesn't. So
no signs of zombie infection yet in this one.
No signs of that. It's very funny. She says yes way more than she says no, and I don't know a lot of toddlers that do that.
What do you mean yes? In terms of
if I ask her to life, she says yes. She
say yes to adventure.
Like if I'm like, oh, do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go on the swing? Do you want a snack? Do you want to
try this broccoli?
Right. Like she's yes is no is like she rarely says it. So yeah, she said yes before she said no, which was like really weird. But because like the no phase is like a big deal. But go ahead, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was a phase. My cousin's kid. It was funny when we were hanging out with them. Oh, Brooke's cousin's kid. We were hanging out with them. Someone swore in the group and was like, "Oh no!" And she was like, "He's not paying attention because he was like playing Pokémon or whatever." And we asked the mother about like bad words and all this stuff, and she goes, "Wyatt, what's the worst word you know?" And he goes, "Stupid." I was like, "Damn, you really like." He was terrified. She was like, "You can say it," and I was expecting like shit or something, like something actually bad. I was like, "Oh, stupid." Good on you, Wyatt. So yeah. But that's good. Congrats on having a good kid. Good genes. Yeah.
I mean, this is really weird timing, but I just got a text in my family group chat from my sister-in-law about my nephew who just got bit by a kid at his daycare.
Oh, no way.
Oh, no.
And it's like all red. It broke the skin. She's worried that he's going to get an infection. So yeah, apparently kids are biters out there.
You got to put them down.
Some of these freaks out there.
Down.
If they
it makes you wonder what the parents are showing these kids.
Zombies.
What are they doing?
UFC.
Yes.
Actually, you
Mike
can't even
Tyson
fight in the
highlights?
UFC, so never mind.
I was thinking The Walking Dead, but sure.
Yeah, Walking
Mike
Dead.
Tyson
the
highlights
new
that one
Daryl
night.
Dixon show.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's one of the spin-offs. He's in Paris. He's in France.
What?
There's multiple Walking Dead spin-offs that are happening right
That
now.
series
I
is
know
a
that, but
zombie
how do you get
unto
to
itself
fucking
at this
It is
point.
a zombie to itself. Huh?
How do you get to Paris?
I don't know. Swam? I
A
have
boat?
No idea. I have a pontoon boat.
He strapped.
There's
He
one.
put his motorcycle on a rowboat and he took off.
Yeah. He just put floaties. Yeah. There's a Negan Maggie one in New York.
Yeah, so that was happening.
So it's and then they've got those Rick movies that they're gonna make. So
they're still gonna do that at this point.
Why not?
Look,
they're just pumping them out.
The show, it must still be AMC's best performing show. You got to imagine.
That's a shame.
I mean, there's nothing else.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
After Better Call Saul.
But what
Well,
about you,
that's
Dan? Sports are starting this week. You excited?
No.
You got bets on the line. You got money put down.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I won a decent amount last week on college football because college football came back.
Oh, a little
last
CFB.
week.
Very nice.
And then this week is the NFL. I had a fantasy draft last night. My final fantasy draft of the year. Way too many. I'm gonna keep track of like 5 teams.
Wait, about your final fantasy drafts. You're not talking about.
Yeah, we each drafted characters from each of the Final Fantasy games.
Oh, that sounds great.
I wouldn't know any of the characters, but these were just fantasy football drafts. And Tuna is a silent partner on that team, actually.
Ooh,
A silent partner. What does that mean?
He's in for a little bit of money and he'll follow along.
That's right.
Because he doesn't have a fantasy team this year because his league disbanded. So
the league disbanded. Yep.
The league disbanded.
It was his work league, and since no one goes into the office anymore, no one cares.
We should have done. I always forget we did it one time with the listeners in the Discord, which I'm sure they would have done it again. We got.
They might still be doing it without us.
We got to remember to do it in advance. Is the thing.
You got to remember, when July 4th is going on, we got to start thinking about it.
Oh my God, I'm not doing. I'm out. I'm out already.
No, you could do it the first week.
No, I just mean start thinking about a date to do the draft.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Because you want people. You don't want to be sitting around all day. You want to just get it in. Sure.
But should be a good team. Should be fun. And then I have a bunch of bets going already. So
yeah, what's your biggest bet this week?
My biggest bet this week, I put a parlay in. I gotta look up the teams again because I keep forgetting the exact ones in there. That's my work email. That's not the right website. Come on. Get to the part where it's written down. Here we go. This is a money line parlay for each of these teams, 5 teams. The Falcons to beat the Panthers, Ravens to beat the Texans, Vikings to beat the Buccaneers, Jaguars to beat the Colts, and Eagles to beat the Patriots. It's plus 450. So
Tom's a big Eagles fan.
When they win.
That is the parlay I like. I don't see where it goes wrong. I'm sure it will somehow because week 1 is always weird and stupid and some weird shit will happen. But
great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Good luck.
Love that.
I don't know. I thought I got sick, but what happened was I have so remember I was sick for weeks in the winter too. I basically have chronic rhinitis and I have a dust allergy. So living in Los Angeles is not necessarily ideal. Luckily we have air purifiers in all the rooms and stuff. But
what's rhinitis? Is that specifically dust or just nose stuff?
Nose stuff. Because all my sore throats are because I have a constantly infected sinus situation, basically. And it's basically just from an allergy. It's constantly inflamed. So it waxes and wanes. I might end up just actually looking into doing the whole.
You should just get your throat removed. That would
what's that thing? The deviated septum fix, because they said that would probably help and fix that. But that's also a very expensive thing for what is mostly just a very minor convenience. But I thought I was getting sick because
So I gotta go. One.
I mean,
you could have just left.
I could have just kept talking, but let's talk about Tom now. Rude dude.
Yeah, definitely rude. Not even I usually throw up a 1 finger and I'll walk away or something, or a sign that says what the hell's going on. I'll walk away.
I mean, I'm gonna have to step away at some point because my Nug Club is supposed to be here before 7, and I got a text a few minutes ago saying they were about to arrive. So I imagine I'll get doorbell momentarily. But
Speaking of
I'm not as
food,
much of
I
a
had
rude dude.
the Shake Shack avocado bacon cheeseburger was good. I had that today.
Oh, that does sound
I'm
good.
not supposed to be eating red meat, but that was delicious. So
Sorry, I announced that, by the way. I heard a crash, and I thought Brooke had slipped in the bathroom.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Something.
what did,
So
what
I was
had
like,
actually
I take it
happened?
back. So we did go. So on Friday, we were like, we want to go to the movies. T and I have been on a tear for the last like several months. Every Friday night, we were going to we go to the bar, we get happy hour, go to the movies. We've basically done it like every week for several months. But then this week, there wasn't anything that we wanted to see that we haven't seen, except when I looked at Universal, they were playing Jurassic Park in theaters for 30th anniversary. Got to tell you, that movie always fucking hits every single time. And holy shit, seeing it in movies is still, oh, it's so good. But because we went to Universal, I decided to go to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, which, by the way, I'd never been to. I'd never been there. I was like, oh, finally went to Margaritaville, which felt very on brand for Jurassic Park because they have a Margaritaville in Jurassic World, and he actually plays a character when the pterodons come in, and he's holding the margaritas, he's running away from him.
Half a second,
yeah. So I was like, oh, this is the perfect place. Let's go get some drinks. Then go watch Jurassic Park.
I have a question because I'm not too familiar with Jimmy Buffett. I understand he has some kind of relationship with Margaritaville.
It's his.
He owns it.
Okay, so it is his restaurant. I thought maybe his song inspired the restaurant, or maybe
it did, I believe.
Well, sure, but I didn't know that he had I just thought that it was like someone was like, we'll call it Margaritaville because of the Jimmy Buffett song. Not
Jimmy Buffett fans are weird, man. You never know who they are because no one's ever just casually listening to Jimmy Buffett. And then all of a sudden, like, Jimmy Buffett concert will roll through, and you'll hear like, "Oh, me and 16 of my friends are all going to the Jimmy Buffett concert." And I'm like, I didn't know anyone listened to him. Okay.
I feel this way about fish as well.
Same, I'm not a fish guy, but I know people love fish.
There was a tweet that was like,
"Tuna stands silent." Big Buffett head over there.
If you don't know, the
all you can eat buffet over there.
The lead singer of My Chemical Romance is Gerard Way, and someone's tweet was, "R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett. He was Gerard Way for my grandmother." I was like, "That's very."
He inspired Twilight.
That is
good. So I wasn't aware of the connection there. So did you go before his passing?
Yeah, it was the day before.
Yeah,
we woke up the next day, and I had many people reply to me on Instagram. Were like, why'd you kill Jimmy Buffett? Because which I didn't realize I was responsible for, but here we are. Smash Mouth, not my fault.
Did you watch Shrek recently?
I didn't. I've never seen Shrek.
Oh wow.
Maybe that was funny. Happened. I don't think that I have seen Shrek.
Maybe that's what killed him.
Front to back. What's that mean?
It means
you never see his dong.
I've never seen his dong.
In Shrek-like fashion, the lead singer of Smash Mouth had a curse set upon him, and he was like, and it was like, within 20 years of Shrek's release, every person on the planet must have watched Shrek, otherwise you will perish. And you hadn't seen it. And Tuna, I mean, it's a 50-50 split. You're the last
people don't do curses enough these days.
People should be cursing more. I completely agree.
Now, when you say that, do you mean like actually like sitting down and like coming up with a real curse, or just saying like curse you?
Both. The whole spectrum.
More of the first, though. More of the first.
Like actually.
Yeah, I'd like
voodoo ass shit.
Yeah, I want you to like have to get some herbs, like throw it in a fire, have some kind of like incantation. Like you need to have like some phrases that you say. Just like the next time you're really mad at someone, or maybe Alex, like his lies are gonna get so big that he's not gonna know what to do to get out of it. So he's gonna try. He's gonna make a memory wipe, like a memory curse. Yeah, it's gonna be like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's gonna curse him so he can't play video games. Every time he touches the machine, it turns off.
And then other alternate reality versions of Tuna start popping up, and he's got to
like collect things first, like fingernail clippings and like, because you gotta follow the science. This isn't some kind of fantasy, right? So Alex, good luck with that. You're gonna need help.
Thanks, bro.
But yeah, otherwise we didn't really do much this weekend just because I felt like crap, which was unfortunate because it's been perfect weather here.
Not
the
here.
heat is gone. It was basically like
here.
76 degrees Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It was perfect out. It was really nice.
Saturday was perfect, and then since Sunday, it's just been like nearing 100 degrees every day. It's been a nightmare.
So we ended up staying in and watched all of One Piece over 3 days, and T's fucking in. T was asking me all weekend. She was asking me, so what about this guy, and like, what's going on with this? And I'm like, this is amazing. This is
what's up with those snails?
Yeah. Oh, she
Brooke
really
was
wants
so
to know about the
confused.
snails. She really
Brooke was
wants.
so confused.
They made a change with the snails in the live action. So in the cartoon, the Den Den Mushi, which is what the snails are called, they look like whoever is on the other line. So in the show, though, like Garp's snail looked like Garp. It should be the opposite. Garp's snail should look like whoever it is. But the reason they did this is they made the snails practical and they look really good because they're actual puppeted snails.
Yeah.
And it'd be impossible to have them transforming and shit. Like, it's probably better to just do what they did. But I was like, it'd be pretty cool if they had a way to do it. But man, they crushed it. I love it. Has anyone other than Tom? I think Alex, you said you watched one.
I watched the first episode. I liked it.
Okay,
I'm in. It's just got mini golf, work,
lies,
kids, lies. Right. So that's Plus, I'm in the middle of Foundation season 1 as well.
Oh, very
Tom, are
good.
you caught up?
I haven't watched. I'm gonna just binge season 2 once.
This week's episode of season 2 is like one of the best episodes of the whole series. Oh man,
I'm gonna binge it because I feel like that's the way I'm gonna do that.
So
season 2 has been great.
I also want to watch Labyrinth, just because we played a mini golf course based on the movie Labyrinth. So now I feel like I need to watch that movie.
The David Bowie film.
Dude, it's so
cool.
I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, so I rewatched it.
I've never seen it. It's my Shrek.
It's great. It's great. It's a classic. And the map that they made in the mini golf course is so well done. It's like every new scene change is like the next hole in the course. It was such a crazy, faithful recreation.
That's awesome.
It's great. I highly recommend watching
that right now. Does anyone know?
I think on Hulu. I think I saw it was on Hulu.
Yes, it was Hulu because I had to watch ads because
the ads.
Real quick before we get deep into the One Piece, a classic film that I had seen as a child, or at least seen parts of, and was very scared, so never revisited it. That I just watched, I think last night or the night before. Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah,
dude, I as well did not see that movie and have never seen that movie because I was scared.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's for kids. It's scary in moments.
Yeah,
I was scared of it too.
It seems like it should be scarier probably than it is.
I mean, it's not. It's not a scary
actually
movie at the end of the day.
Like when you compare it to reality, it's a little scarier at that point. But
the humans, I mean, that the whole idea is like he's not the monster, right? It's the humans that are the monsters. Yeah. Look, I'm not the world's Tim Burton is touch and go for me. I think he's an interesting creator. I think he has a lot of misses.
Creators like that though. You need ones.
100%.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, do you, man? M. Night Shyamalan, do you?
Maybe he should stop doing him for a little bit.
I don't know that knock on the cabin or whatever it was called.
I mean, the truth is though, like it is funny to make fun of them, but at the same time, it is such a impossible feat to make fucking anything at that scale. So even when it's so even if it's like mediocre, it's like still like kind of incredible to pull off.
It has,
even if I hate it, even if I think it's garbage. But
if something is bad, but it has the stamp of the creator on it, like, and it isn't like the truly bad movies to me, the movies are the bad, but it's also like corporate. Like there is no like essence of whoever made it. Like the movie,
like Trolls.
The movie Old.
What about Trolls 2?
Yeah, well, Brooke loves those movies. The movie Old by M. Night Shyamalan is like a movie that I actually had to turn off because I disliked it so much. But it was authentically him, and it annoyed me in the ways that those movies annoy me. So you made me feel something. Anyway, long story short, Edward Scissorhands, fucking phenomenal film. I loved it. And I was reading up about it And Tim Burton was talking about how it's his favorite movie that he's ever made. And I might agree. I really like Sweeney Todd. I'm a big Sweeney Todd fan.
Todd. I like that a lot. I liked it.
Obviously, got a lot of the same vibes and places. But I had no idea, this movie, obviously, I remember all the scenes of him in the haunted mansion. Like, that's what I remember viscerally as a kid. And I thought it was kind of like a Beauty and the Beast story where Winona Ryder is like stuck in the mansion with him or something. But we start the movie and it's like, no, it's this idyllic, like, white picket fence nuclear family like neighborhood that he gets brought into, and he's a fish out of water and all this stuff. Great film. Highly recommend. Not scary. But
I feel like we shouldn't really talk much about it because Dan hasn't watched it yet, and Alex only watched one episode.
I've only seen 3, so
yeah, we'll talk about it in the future. I don't know if you're gonna watch, Dan. I think you'd like it. It's fuck. Sorry, I
think it's switched
back. My microphone got fucked up. All right, there we go. Yeah.
And he's back.
We heard him anyway.
Check it out. You'd enjoy it. But let's talk about it in the future. I mean, it's kicking ass. One Piece is now the biggest. It's the most sold fiction of all time. It passed Harry Potter. So other than like any kind of religious text, it is the most sold fiction of all time.
I thought you were saying Harry Potter's like.
Oh my god! So... Speaking of religious text.
Okay, let's talk about religious text. That's definitely our lane.
I got a random piece of mail today, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I didn't order anything. It's like look like a tiny little book, and so I open it, and it's like, it says to my name or resident, so very personal gift. So I open it, and it was like. This person was like, I wanted to share with you this book that changed my life. And it's this guy who wrote a fucking book about how Jesus will save you. And I was like, you really fucking mailed this out to like a shitload of houses? What the fuck?
This is how they get you, man. This is how they get you.
I got a text message from someone in LA asking if I was Ophelia Sydney.
Are you?
I haven't answered it yet. I was thinking about answering it.
No, don't do it because then they have your number and then they have my
number. I know.
Yeah.
Well, they already have it. So you're saying they know that it's a real number.
But that they want it's the engagement. It's once you engage, that's when you think you've been receiving texts and phone calls at a mass rate. Wait till you can't even like hang up on them. That's the other thing. Is like what I do is like I turn the ringer off because they know that. You can block. Well, the other thing is that when numbers call, when they try to redial from those numbers and it doesn't go through, they realize it's a real number and it's blocked and they use a different number. Basically, almost no matter what you do, you're fucked. Which is apt.
It's annoying. All right. I think we should get into some game chat, right? It's been an hour. The listeners show up, it's a video game podcast.
We talked about Infernape.
I'm gonna get these two out of the way real quick. Analog Pocket, love it. Fucking love the Analog Pocket. This thing is great. There are so many classic games that I wanted to play, and even if they're eventually available on the Nintendo Switch, it is really nice to be able to play them in what feels like the appropriate device. Just the screen size, like the handheld, like the shape of it. It's nice to not have it on that kind of LCD or whatever, that the Switch. Although I do have that OLED now, but still. I'm playing a game on there that I'd never played more than maybe an hour or two of because I didn't own it. My cousin did. I am playing Legend of Zelda Minishcap, and let me tell you, it is fucking great.
Very cool.
This is a great game. Alex, you would love this. Did you know if is this one of the ones that's available in the GBA? I don't think it is. I think they have the Oracle of Ages and Seasons games, which I've played one of.
Minishcap I think is on Switch now.
Tuna, you would.
Never played Oracle.
Big fan.
Yes, it's on Switch online.
Minish, I've heard good things about Minish.
I mean, this is the one where the hat is alive, right?
Yeah,
so it's his hat. Yeah. But you shrink down and the Minish people are all tiny. So then, you basically, I mean, what is one thing everybody in this podcast loves? a Halo level or any kind of game where you get to be like tiny, micro machine size.
Yeah.
And that's
Wait,
great.
what does that have to do with what are you talking
Because the Minishcap allows you to shrink.
No, I understand that. What does that have to do with Halo?
Well, because we've played those levels on
the
Halo.
maps.
The maps
where
where
you
you
forge maps.
Yeah, the forge maps.
I did not. I was thinking of campaign, and I was like, I don't remember Master Chief ever.
I mean, that would be great.
Shrinking.
Yeah, that'd be great
in the game.
An Ant-Man.
I did not even
level
consider
would be great.
multiplayer. Yeah. Yeah, we do like being little men in big places.
That's true. And the other game I'm playing, because I figured, I know Starfield's out, everybody's playing Starfield, so I figured I'm playing one old game. I should probably play a second old game. So I'm playing Myst, which I haven't played since I was a child.
Dude, are you taking notes?
I mean, I honestly, I'm only an hour in, but
It's
I'm
so
going
hard.
to need to, is what it seems like. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do it without, and I just got really annoyed and tired of it.
I'm playing it on my Steam Deck. They have a VR version, but it's not on PlayStation. It's only on Oculus, and I kind of wish it was, because I would definitely, basically everything online was like, play this classic version of Myst that's been released if you're going to play the 2D one, or play the VR version if you're going to play 3D one. It's the only one that's like good in 3D, but it's not on PlayStation. It's also not coming to it. It came out in like 2020 and they haven't updated it in a long time. So it's unfortunate, because it seems awesome. But the reason for that, Tom, is the same as the Walkabout Labyrinth course. They have a Walkabout Myst course,
right.
And it's so fucking sick. Alex and I did it this week. We knocked out quite a few courses. We got all the balls, we got some clubs, but the Myst course has like on the levels, there's like switches you can throw and things you can like unlock and interact with. And the courses even had like some puzzles built into them.
Tom, you got FOMO yet, bitch?
He can play. He could just get it on Oculus. It's fucking cheap.
Yeah, I'm good.
He could just go to your house and ask Brittany if he could have his thing back. And
yeah,
he has another thing he could just spend $15 on. The price of a fucking taco.
Tuna. Your Oculus account.
Wait, hold on. The price of a taco is $15.
I literally had tacos.
I was just gonna let that
and
go.
I had 4, and they cost $14.
Yeah, tacos are fucking cheap.
Well, you could have had a Walkabout mini golf session with us.
This is like Tuna when he's like, instead of getting a house, you bought avocado toast.
Right. Yes. How to save money as a millennial: stop buying your frappuccinos, bitch.
Right. Frappuccino.
Alex, your Oculus account is just used for that, right?
No, I have that escape room game on it.
No, I mean it's just used for Oculus, because you don't use Facebook.
Right.
So Tom could just sign in on his Oculus and play Walkabout Mini Golf with us. I'm just saying, we could do that.
So you're telling me that I got to give him access to my
bullshit? So then he doesn't tell Brit.
He doesn't want it.
Yes, exactly.
Because
I
he
gave
doesn't
you a
want
PSVR too.
Because he doesn't want to spend. Because he doesn't want to spend $15.
The price of one taco, Chris. The price of a single solitary taco.
I want to see Tuna's $15 taco.
This is literally like when Fox News was like, I just spent $30 at Taco Bell. People were like pricing that out, like how much Taco Bell
I've been
is.
high, I've been drunk, and I've never been able to spend $30 at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Tom.
Fast food price has gone up.
All those toys behind you
$30,
look like they cost a pretty penny. All those toys, you get one less toy could have purchased multiple rounds of mini golf. That's all I'm saying.
Look, if you don't want Tom to have to borrow his PlayStation back, then I feel like you could let him borrow your Oculus account.
How did this turn around now that I have to do something? I have to. There's no tit for tat. It's my lie. You were barely in it. You're lucky I even told you the story for the content of this podcast. Give me a break.
You're lucky I gave you that PSVR.
Yeah. The world that I created. That I'm sorry I invited you into.
It's
my own
on you right now.
Yeah.
Have Alex or Dan? Well, no, Dan said he wasn't going to bother even downloading it. Have you started Starfield? Have you loaded it?
No,
not yet. No. I wasn't going to do that today, and I wasn't going to do it late last night. So I'm going to try it this week, so I can talk about it next week. But I wasn't going to do it with one day left. Yeah. What have you heard?
Some people like it, some people.
Some people like
Great.
to be lonely.
I'll be honest, I don't even know. I don't even really know what I heard, what that Dan heard, but he heard something. I'm not sure if it was words.
Some people didn't like it. Some people thought
Gail will say what?
Some people like the space. Some people like that the space travels quick. Some people don't like that the space travels quick. It's like a bunch of mixed thoughts on the same ideas.
I saw something online that was like, I think it was like and then Video Game Donkey picked it up, and it was like something like, once you get 12 hours in, the game gets good. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, the game actually doesn't really end. The game doesn't get really good until you finish the campaign.
Well, let me tell you something.
How many hours is that?
If that's part of your selling point for your game,
I think it's pretty short.
Go fuck yourself. Okay, I want to have fun the second I jump in.
Immediately, yeah.
I want to have fun the second I pick it up. If I'm not having fun by the second I pick that shit up, and I gotta go around doing all these missions, collecting all this shit, and the game doesn't get good until the 12th hour, fuck off. Fuck off.
You know what's gonna be fun the second you start it? The Alfheim level that comes out tomorrow on Walkabout Mini Golf.
Oh, baby, can't wait. Jump right into
the
that.
Norse mythology, Elven level.
Yeah. Yeah, can't wait.
Great. Have you played anything else you want to talk about? Because we're going to hear about Starfield or whatever else.
No, the other thing that I heard about Starfield was like the O2, CO2 levels or whatever, and that just sounds like a tedious bullshit thing that you put in the game. And that is something that if I were playing and I was walking across whatever and I had to stop because my O2 levels were low and I had to wait for it and I had to wait, you fucked your game by doing that. That's so stupid.
That's so fucking funny. Oh my god.
I'm done now.
All right, Tom, what are you playing? Are you still playing Starfield?
Yeah, still playing. I've started doing campaign stuff after hearing some stuff about it and like how, you know, it's as someone described it well without giving spoilers, it's kind of like playing Skyrim and never unlocking the dragon shouts, which if you haven't played Skyrim is where you can learn draconic words and they give you special powers. So there's something like that in the game. The campaign is dull so far. Again, 12 you know, you got to get 12 hours into it before it gets interesting. But it's literally like, we found another art. Go to this planet and talk to this person. They know where an artifact is. And then they're like, oh, it's in this mine. And then you go to the mine and you get the artifact. And then you go back to the lodge and you put the artifact with the other artifacts. It's a lot of that right now, which kind of sucks. Honestly, I haven't really, it's a shame because I haven't really sat down to play it and just to play, because a lot of it has been trying to capture specific stuff for work. Like we're doing guides and shipbuilding guides. So there's been a lot of doing that and outpost guides, a lot of doing that. Thankfully, those systems I think are actually pretty well done. I know a lot of people online are struggling with those. So we will have guides up for them, but I think they're actually a lot easier than some people. I think it's intimidating at first. And then I've been installing mods because I'm doing a mod video as well. So that's been my day, and it really does highlight some of the stupid kind of game design.
I saw this dumbest mod. You probably have one of these. The Nick Cage flashlight.
There's you can change the flashlight to have it be different people's faces. I haven't installed that one yet.
The mods are only going to really work on Steam editions, right?
No, it works on the Game Pass version as well.
Is it It's Game Pass PC too?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I would enjoy this game with mods.
I think
so that I can just be like
shit going on.
Yeah, I could just be like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this thing. If there's a mod for that, I'm just gonna get this.
The other thing you can do on PC is command lines. So the game has cheat codes for everything. So you don't even need to mod. You can just like you just press tilde on your keyboard and you type a line, and it's like the O2 encumbrance gone. Like you just negate encumbrance, automatically add this amount of money into my account, like give me this shit.
All right,
stuff like
I'm
that.
gonna play this game on PC, I guess.
Yeah, so if you want,
I actually still think I'm gonna enjoy it. I think I'm gonna enjoy it because it sounds like it's just a big space adventure game, but there is a chance that some of the encumbrance
I'm really curious
systems
to
are
see
going
what
to
you guys.
drive me nuts.
I'm really curious to see how you guys feel about it.
Yeah,
so
Zelda Minishcap's not going to get in the way. That is my nighttime game. That is what I play like in bed at night after T and I. You know what we've been playing a lot? We've been doing it not every night, but we've been doing it probably like 3-4 nights a week. Well, so we were doing the new New York Times game Connections, which is great. I really like Connections. It gives you a grid of 16 words, and you have to find, there's 4 groups of 4, and there's only way to group them into 4 groups of 4. So you have, like, even if you can think of like, oh, these 4 things go together, it's not going to work. You have to figure it out. It's kind of like a puzzle.
That was a Apple Store, Apple Arcade game that was, I forget.
Oh, really?
I think it might have been either just the app version of that, or maybe New York Times just bought it.
Well, they added it to their game list now.
It's tough sometimes. I've gotten like the last 3 of them, I think, perfect in a row. But before that, I was on a streak of like 10 not perfect in a row.
But we do that, and then we do the Wordle. We do that as a warm up, and then we do the actual New York Times crossword, which is something that like I had never done as an adult. You know, like you try it as a kid, and you're like, I don't know enough of these references to actually get them. It is fun to be able to do the crossword. So what we do is we put it on the Apple TV. If you AirPlay it from the app to the Apple TV, it knows that you're playing this game, and it puts it in a format on the Apple TV that like has all the questions on the left and puts the grid really big on the right, cool. So that you can. So yeah, so like, well, you know, have a glass of wine. I'm standing up in front of the TV looking at him and like just like shouting at she's like typing the answers in and like going, oh, what do you think is this? It's stupid, it's fun, but like you just do a puzzle for like 40 minutes. Great. It's a good time. Good time. Getting old. You know.
Getting old.
Getting old. Like I was like the other day, she was like, do you want to do New York Times crossword? I was like, let's fucking go.
I feel that.
But yeah, so that's what we got going on here. You guys want to talk about some news? Unless we got anything else. All right, great.
Nope.
Tell us about it, Tom.
There's like 2 things. The one thing is definitely a confirmed thing. Both Nintendo bits of news. The first thing is that in an interview with Famitsu, which is a Japanese outlet, Zelda producer IG Aonuma says that there is no DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. Basically, that they just didn't. They feel like that world has been fully explored. There's nothing that they could add that would enhance the experience. And so there's going to be no DLC, and they're already planning the next Zelda game, and that people should expect it to be something completely different. So kind of like tying everything together, it does sound like we're not going to get just another. Specifically, they even mentioned like the map. They were like, that map is we've sucked it dry. So the next Zelda should be something vastly different. Very curious as to what that is. But yeah, so
I actually want to know what Alex thinks first. I'm more interested in what Alex thinks than what I have to say.
I guess I don't really care about the DLC. I've got plenty of games on the docket, less time than before. It would have been cool for a DLC, but I already have like a weird feeling like Tears of the Kingdom was a DLC for Breath of the Wild.
It was. Originally, the concept was they had it as DLC, and then they were like, no, this is the next game.
Yeah, so then that's fine. And I'm always in for brand new Zeldas. So I'm very interested to see what they do. Not having the DLC doesn't really bother me that much. Yeah, so I'm fine with it.
What one mechanic that you'd want?
There's no way I'm going to be able to do it because it's such a hard thing to even talk about, because they went from like time travel in Ocarina to masks in Majora to like a very vanilla like Twilight Princess kind of vanilla-ish Skyward Sword flying shit and different areas with like breakable shields and stuff, and they kind of fully realized that Breath of the Wild, and now it's like to think of a gimmick that they're going to think of, I feel like is almost maybe impossible.
I mean, but there, you know what has me worried, Tom? There's rumors about that Switch too.
What are the rumors?
The cameras. for like AR stuff.
I did hear that it has cameras on it.
And what, you're gonna play Zelda in your basement?
Who knows? Who knows?
Oh my
what the
god,
fuck they're
a
gonna do
Zelda
with this,
AR
Alex?
game. Oh,
what if the thing that
boy.
it switches into is a VR headset? And so you take the thing out and you click it in, and that's the display. And
I mean, I actually can
Look, I'll tell you right now.
see
I'll tell you right now.
Virtual Boy coming back.
Oh my god. Look, what I will say about VR is the same thing I said to Chris when we were playing Walkabout Mini Golf. There are a select few games where VR makes a lot of sense. As soon as you, I think, go way, once you get into the, like, if you played God of War in a VR headset, I just think it's a different feel. I just don't think it's what you're looking for. I think you want to be able to sit on the couch and you want to be able to have long play sessions, sitting on the couch playing a video game using a controller. I don't, I think that's some of that is awesome. I just don't think that you're going to play a very long, in-depth, complicated game in your VR headset. It's amazing for fucking mini golf.
I think
puzzle games, but look.
I'm not disagreeing with you. However, you're leaving out, like, you're looking at VR as this very little slice. Like,
I think
there are games like God of War that you could play in VR where you're not doing the God of War thing. It could still be in third person. You could just have the rest of the fucking area around you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And
like, that's what I want. Like, let me play those games, but don't put it on a flat screen. Just put me in the thing, but let me play third person for that stuff. Like, for sure, not rooms. I don't want to be fucking. I'll be Kratos, but not the way that game was designed. They'd have to design a totally. Like, I definitely, I hear what you're saying, but like, it would be great if they started taking more of their first party games and just letting you play them, even if it's in third person, in virtual reality, instead of just on that cinema screen.
I was thinking that because when VR started becoming like a thing with the first Oculus, I was very much excited at the possibility of games having those kinds of things, but it would have to be, it's not static because you can move around stuff, but it would be like a almost Resident Evil type static camera, right? Where it's like every time you move from one area to the next, it would just be like, I know initially, like, when you envision it, it looks cool in your head, but I imagine it's actually very tough.
Well, Astro Boy, they're a third person VR titles, and they look awesome. So just just make the camera systems work like that, and it would be great. But
it would have to be something that would be, I think, a dedicated, like, you could do that experience, but I don't think it necessarily could be like the next God of War you could play in this kind of like third person VR mode where you are a god spectacle and it still work as a regular game. But
it'd be sick.
Hopefully we get another Astro Boy, because man, good fucking game.
I mean, look, they just have to change the camera. You'd probably be zoomed out and up, and it'd be closer to the diorama mode of Walkabout. It couldn't be that far down. But if the camera were further out, then the camera has to move less often. So the camera can make slower, more like slower, smaller movements because you're seeing more of it. It would give you a totally different perspective on the game.
Totally, 100%.
Cool.
Tuna, you never played the VR Astrobot for the first PSVR, right?
They got
true.
They just
gotta port it.
They just recently did something with the trademarks on those. They did something with either the copyright or the trademark. So people think that it's going to be announced for the holiday, that there's going to be a port of it or a new one, because the team hasn't put out a new game in 3 years. So hopefully we're just getting a whole new one and not just like a HD, like a 4K version or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm excited about it.
It would still be good even then.
It'll be great.
Phenomenal.
It'll be great.
What was the original? Oh yeah, so Zelda. What are your thoughts, Chris?
I mean, mostly the same as Alex. There's a part of me that kind of wishes I could go back to the world one more time, because at the end of that game, I have such an absolutely ridiculous arsenal of weapons. And I also feel like the coolest thing in that game wasn't explored, which was the fucking Sky Islands. And like, who are those like people in the statues in the depths and stuff? Like, there were probably just some cool things they could have done, but
I always feel like the Zelda story and the lore and all that stuff is so half baked. It's like, these are now the Zonai. The who? These the Scott. Yeah, they were the previous first rulers of what the fuck.
We never really got one great Sky Island set. Well, I mean, there should have been one massive one. There should have been one that was like so big and massive that it felt like its own, but they didn't. The Sky Islands were small, and
They were, and they were like little tiny.
They were kind of like,
yeah. And then the other thing I just wanted to piggyback off that was I do appreciate how this time around in Tears of the Kingdom, it definitely felt like the world was more full of like people and things, and like
it felt alive.
Yeah, it really did.
Felt alive. Like the currency
alive
between the different towns, watching people like go between them. You understood like, oh, this guy's, you know, the fucking market trader. That's why this person has this thing. Oh.
I would love that when I would run into people like walking somewhere, and I would just like follow them and just kind of like what and like
it's one of the best video games I've ever played. But
yeah, I just feel like I just wish it. I wish it wasn't in the same location. I wish they had made it like, oh, let's do Termina and let's completely, you know, like large scale that out.
And that's why it's probably better that we're not.
It probably is. Yeah, it probably is. It's like enough.
Yeah.
Enough with that area. Enough with that map. That map is dead.
I don't want to wait 6 more years. So
I
whatever
agree.
It's got to be.
I agree.
Do it. Figure it out. Make it happen. Do it in 5. Let me get one before the fucking 2030s are rolling around. You know. Let's do this in 5. Cool. Any other news, Tom?
The other Nintendo news is, I mean, I don't think we reported on it.
The Direct.
Some places, I mean, it's dubious, I'll say. But
apparently
we might be getting a Nintendo Direct next week. Which would be interesting because some of the earlier rumors this year, the Nintendo Switch 2 rumors have been all over the place, but one of the early rumors this year is that we would get an announcement by the end of the year for the system, which I don't know if that makes sense if you're trying to sell Switches this holiday, like get one last holiday out. I think they'd sell anyway.
I don't think you would. I don't think. Yeah, you're probably right. They would sell anyway, but I don't think you announce anything before Christmas.
Like maybe what it is it's a price cut. You know, get the last of the inventory sold. You know, $50 off the light, $50 off the OLED. I think they also sell the original Switch. Like you can still buy an original Switch. It's not just OLED and light. So they probably got a bunch of those lying around as well. You got a Mario themed one coming out for Mario Wonder.
I'm pumped for that. I'm definitely playing that. Can't wait.
Could potentially get a Direct soon. Maybe his Switch 2 news soon. As Chris said, some of the rumors kicking around right now. It has a camera and with potential AR or VR capabilities. It will supposedly be backward compatible. It will use a new cartridge format, but it will be kind of like how the DS and 3DS were very similar, but not the same. Designed exclusively. And then someone said the Switch 2 was able to run Final Fantasy VII Remake like a PS5 game, which if that's the case, and I mean, if they are doing VR and stuff, for it to be good, they would need to be a substantial step up in power. But that's the thing, is that those chips exist now, right? The chips, the AMD Z1 that you have in the Asus ROG Ally, you know, maybe there's a less powerful version that they're using for this.
They're
like
also
that.
not going to have like any of the effects on too. So it's like, oh, it's running Final Fantasy. It looks great because you're playing on like a small screen,
tiny screen,
But
the
like, it doesn't have any of the lighting effects. It doesn't have any of the NASA. But hey, like, you know what? Like if it performs well, like I guess I don't care.
Yeah. You know, it's just so funny to think about where mobile chips, like the Switch is a Tegra, right? Like that was the beginning of, we can get good looking games on mobile, and now we're way beyond that. Way beyond that.
The Switch is so currently underpowered, and Nintendo is able to make games that look really good on it still somehow. So it doesn't matter to me how Final Fantasy runs on it. All that tells me is Nintendo is going to make their games run much better, because I'm not playing third-party games really on the Switch anyway.
Yeah.
No, I'm never playing third-party games on the Switch anyway.
I mean, not never, but almost
never.
Oh yeah, very few. So
like I picked up Sea of Stars on the Switch. That's probably the first third-party game in a while that I've picked up on that fucking platform.
There is a game that feels like it would make sense on a Switch, but I would still get it on an Xbox. But the new Nick All-Stars Brawl is coming out.
Oh.
And with that, I am now actually excited about it because I did not enjoy the fighting mechanics of that game when I tried the demo, because they tried to make it feel like a fighting game. And all these games, same thing I was complaining about with all of the, you know, not Smash games, is they all don't copy Smash Brothers when they should just copy Smash Brothers. So
maybe they're worried about Nintendo. They're so litigious.
But now they've done it. They said, okay, we're just gonna have a special attack button, and it's like special attack up, special attack to the side, special attack down, which is what it should have fucking had at the start. To someone just copy them. I mean, the bones that they built by the time the first one ended, with like the voice acting and everything else, were much better than where that game started. So a second one also having a better fighting system, I'm excited for that.
Yep. I liked Brooke and I played quite a bit of the first one. So it sounds like a lot of the improvements from that. Or there will be lots of improvements that will make that a lot more fun. Yeah. That's about it for the old news.
All right, let's do a little mail. Email at unrankedpodcast.com. That's right. It's email at unrankedpodcast.com. We have a phone number, 805-738-8692. It's 805-738-8692. You can call in and leave a voice message like this one.
Boys, it's Slater. I'm leaving a quick VM for you. I just wanted to say, I hear all the things about Starfield, and I am a Bethesda fanboy, love this kind of game. So just wanted to come at it with an alternate perspective, because it doesn't sound like there are many fans out of the host, which is fine. I get it. And I get the complaints, you know, the map system is just a dumpster fire. The inventory and menu system is garbage. I get it. I get the complaints. The one thing I don't get is the comparisons. It's, you know, you hear a lot of Baldur's Gate versus this, Jedi Survivor, Hogwarts Legacy versus Starfield that have come out, other space games. And the one thing that's throwing me off, especially like with Baldur's Gate, is comparing like two completely different subgenres. You see, it's like you have a turn-based tactics RPG versus Starfield, and this is the thing that I haven't heard of people subgenre-ing this game as a sandbox RPG. Two completely different things. It's like Gran Turismo versus Hot Wheels, and saying, well, Gran Turismo does this simulation thing, but Hot Wheels doesn't have, you know, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I just wanted to get your opinions on that specific criticism, and see if that holds up in the critics' world. Anyway, stay unranked, suck it. Talk to you guys soon.
I mean, this is precisely what I was saying last week, which is that these games are core differences and shouldn't be compared directly. I also just don't like when reviews are comparing games, because then you're just talking about what things one thing has and another doesn't, when like, I mean, these are built by different teams, different people. They weren't built to like fight each other in an arena. You know, they were like...
But if you're coming off of an experience that does a lot of, I understand it's
but I think that should be the reviewer's job to separate themselves from that other experience. Because if this came out a month before Baldur's Gate, you wouldn't say any of the things about, well, Baldur's Gate does this better, and so this is not as good as it could be because I've seen something that does this system better. And it's but they're trying to do different things.
But it isn't even Baldur's Gate. That's the other thing about it, is that I think there are numerous RPGs that have leapfrogged some of the things that Starfield does.
Sure.
Starfield, obviously, like...
But if people aren't hearing that, if I'm just hearing like Baldur's Gate, then I'm never going to know that, right?
But Baldur's Gate is a massive game that a ton of people have played, that a ton of people who are going to play Starfield have played. I mean, I think it's extremely relevant, especially like you can't judge art in a you can't judge art in a vacuum. Like that's.
But they were. I mean, they came out within like weeks of one another, so you also can't judge it on something another thing did that, like, this project was being made for 10 years. This other thing came out a few weeks beforehand. Oh, why isn't it like it?
I'm not asking it to be like Starfield. Or
Sure.
I'm not asking it to be like Baldur's Gate. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm totally fine with it having areas where I feel that it is lackluster, and Starfield is giving me something different. It's compromising. What I'm saying is that specifically the writing itself is poor in comparison, and that is something that also, like, it's not just a Baldur's Gate thing, but for example, had a big story moment happen in the game, and in the background my character or my companion is making comments as the big story moment is happening, like, what the fuck is going on, like, oh my god. Story moment ends, I go over to that character and they're acting like nothing happened. And that is, I think, unacceptable for a game, for an RPG in 2023 that is about player choice, that is meant to be about all of these different paths you can go down. It is a very rigid game that, in the light of something as well written as a Baldur's Gate, is something that's hard to, but even if Baldur's Gate didn't come out, I would still think that this game has bad writing.
Sure. I'm not arguing it doesn't, again, because I haven't played it, but from someone who has heard what you had to say and looked at what a lot of other people said, if all I'm seeing is people like everything talked about Baldur's Gate, so many people talk about Baldur's Gate impression, and I'm like, I feel like there's better ways, especially if people haven't played that game, to communicate, because what you're saying now, I understand better than what you were saying the other day.
I was just trying to use Baldur's Gate as an example of,
sure,
there is an RPG out right now that feels like the future of RPGs. Yeah. And it is not Starfield, it is Baldur's Gate. And Starfield feels like a relic of a once revolutionary RPG system that Bethesda basically invented, but it is still firmly rooted in that past, rather than kind of like what I think is very forward-looking. I mean, I don't think a lot of the reviews, maybe they bring up a sentence or two about it, and maybe there's thought pieces that are about Baldur's Gate and Starfield, but I know for a fact, like, Michael on GameSpot's review, like, I actually don't think he ever brings up Baldur's Gate, and still brings up those issues. It's just like, especially when we're doing a gaming podcast, and I know that we have a lot of people playing Baldur's Gate, like, it's just like, hey, if you're coming off of Baldur's Gate, you might be disappointed in this game in certain areas. There's stuff that Starfield, there's stuff that Starfield does that, like, Baldur's Gate cannot do, right? There's a lot of, like, freedom of going places, because you can just, like, literally teleport to the other side of the universe. And it's cool to, like, be in one environment in one moment, and the next, like a city with, like, Earth-like gravity, and the next thing I'm on a planet that I can't breathe in and has, like, no gravity, so I'm able to bounce everywhere. The gunplay in zero gravity, like, all of that stuff is really fucking cool. It's just that I think that, again, Bethesda were pioneers of character choice and player direction and story, and they've always kind of had weak writing, but people were able to forgive them because they had these very complex, interesting, intricate systems.
I mean, most video game writing's never been great. It's really only started to get pretty good in recent years.
There's another funny example where the characters will, like, give you like, every now and again they'll be like, oh, I have something for you, and the dialogue with it is, like, very heartfelt, and they're like, oh, when we were on so and so, I came across this and it made me think of you, so I got it. And obviously it's just, like, boilerplate dialogue for whatever the item is, but someone did that to me and they're like, yeah, I just saw it and it made me think of you, so here you go. And it pops up and it's like 486 credits have been added. I was like, oh, a pile of credits. Like, so there's just, like, things in that like kind of, like, take you out of this world. Yeah, I mean, look, they are fundamentally different games, but they share a lot of core systems, but I still think that, like, you'd be finding something else I don't think that these reviews that are like more mediocre would be any different if Baldur's Gate had not come out.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't even care if the reviews are mediocre. I just I don't like reading opinion pieces when it's too heavily involving something else, because it requires you to also then agree with the other opinion on that thing in the first place. So if you don't know about it, you don't actually get 100% of what they're saying. So it's just, I think maybe Slater probably felt similar to me about that, which is why he called in and said that. But the things that you just said now, which were probably like what you were saying last week, felt more pointed because you weren't necessarily comparing it directly.
Sure.
But I feel like you're probably right. I'm probably not going to care though. My biggest thing is going to be the same problems Alex has with this game is, am I annoyed? Like that's going to be the thing when I play this game this week is, am I annoyed?
I mean, here's an example of a really fucking annoying situation.
Oh, great. Here we go. This is what I
was trying to capture something and I needed to go to a certain planet to capture it. But the problem is that I had contraband on my ship, and the ship I was using didn't have shielded cargo. And if you have contraband on your ship and you enter a star system that is being patrolled by one of the factions, they'll scan your ship, and if they find it, they'll confiscate it. But this was a side quest item. So it wasn't even like something that I necessarily like wanted to lose. Like if I wanted to complete that quest, I had to hold on to it. And so I wanted to go to I was like, okay, let me deliver this cargo, this contraband, to this other star system where the delivery is meant to be. But when I go there, there's another faction that's ready to scan as well. And they're scanning me and they're like, give it up. And I'm like, ugh. So I had to find a planet that didn't have any factions in it, that also had a ship technician, which is like only the main planets have places you can go. I had to basically return to the good thing I'm in with the pirates because they don't have any of that shit. I was able to go there, switch out my ship, transfer the cargo from one ship to the next, then go to the planet. And then the other thing is that when you have shielded cargo, you basically the quality, like you can do upgrades and stuff, and it will scan. There'll be a percentage success for scanning. And so I was at like 58%. They'll scan you and you will pass. And it was like, nope, scanned. You got to give up the cargo. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to reload the save of me entering the star system. And I did that like 3 times until I had a successful scan where they didn't notice it. Then I landed on the planet, delivered the harvested organs to where they needed to be delivered. And then I was able to go capture the thing I needed to capture.
I mean, that sounds tedious.
But it also, though, the way he was describing it.
Yeah, but he was describing it with flourish and bullshit.
Yes, I know.
Like you're watching a TV show.
I know. But at the same time, there is something interesting to that of being like, well, if you're gonna fucking carry contraband, this is what you got to do.
It is.
You gotta fucking go around the system. You gotta find ways through it.
There was a meme that someone shared in the Starfield Slack channel at work, and it was the Knives Out meme where
Glass Onion or Knives Out.
No, it was Knives Out. It was where Daniel Craig was like saying something, and he's like, "But it still compels me, though." And it was like, I just find it so boring, but I'm still so compelled. Like, it has enough of these compelling kind of hooks to continue to go. And again, I've also played it in a very weird way. Like, I really just want to be done with creating content for it, so I can just play the game without having to like cheat and reload saves and like, oh, I gotta go like
saves coming.
Do this. So cool. I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say about it.
I'm gonna play it this week. I'll definitely play it this week. That Myst level was just too good. I had to go play Myst.
Yeah,
Myst is great. All right, let's do a couple questions. Go to the show notes, go to the Discord, questions for the pod. Ask questions in there. Psych Mike, what cereal is best soggy? My vote is for Reese's Puffs. Soggy with milk, since I swear to God, one of you will think I'm implying cereal could be soggy with anything.
God. Soggy cereal. Honey Bunches of Oats is pretty good. Soggy.
Oh, well, the Honey Bunches of Oats is a great one because it takes longer to get soggy. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That it can.
But this wasn't what's the best sog resistant.
Right,
this
right,
is what's
that's
the
what I'm
best
saying.
when it's soggy.
Cookie Crunch.
I mean, are we talking like hot cereals too? Because those are meant to be soggy, no?
There you go. That's a great
Like oatmeals.
way
I don't think
around
we're
this
talking
down.
about oatmeal. I think we're talking about cold milk cereal.
I'm sticking with Honey Bunches of Oats. Rice Krispies stinks. Soggy.
Frosted Mini Wheats are pretty good because they're too dry otherwise.
That's a
They'll
good
go
one,
in.
Dan. A Weetabix. You guys don't have that here, but
Rice
it's
Krispies
basically
would just be
one
like
giant.
1,000 little worms instead of thin worms.
Rice Krispies, I hate when they
Like
get
eating
soggy. I
thin.
like Rice Krispies, but I need to put like the perfect amount of milk in, otherwise you get to the soggy bit, and it's like eating cold of the oats. And I'm
I
like,
think we
right,
can all
yeah.
agree.
It's
Frosted
Rice
Flakes are the
Krispies, not
worst
Rice
soggy.
Soggies.
yeah.
I'm going with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which Cinnamon Toast Sog is what I'm going with because it's basically going to turn your milk into horchata.
God,
So that's
going to
be
soggy. I hate soggy. And that is the double-edged sword about soggy cereal, is that the soggier the cereal, the better the milk tastes because it's absorbed the sugar more.
You're just having horchata at that point.
But
that's good, man.
I hate soggy cereal.
It is bad. It is.
You know what cereal I don't like, but I like the milk is like Count Chocula or something like that, where like it just turns the milk to chocolate milk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get this cereal out of the way. I just want the milk.
I'm one of those. I mean, I haven't had cereal.
You know,
in a while,
Dan, they
but
sell chocolate milk without the cereal.
I haven't done it since I was like 10. So
I used to be one of those milk first psychos, because what I would do is you just take the box, you pour your milk in, and I'll pour in just enough cereal to cover the top of the milk, eat it, and then pour some more cereal in, and you're never soggy.
I mean, you know what?
It makes more sense, but that's still no. You got to go cereal first.
I mean, you have to go cereal first if you want soggy milk. If you don't want soggy milk, you don't go cereal.
Soggy
first.
milk.
Soggy milk. Yeah, soggy
I do
milk.
like my milk extra soggy.
It's my band's name.
Soggy milk. That's a great question. Thank you, Psych Mike. Sir Lazarus, if you had to live in a horror movie, what movie would it be? Oh, we've done this with video games, so not horror movies. Horror movies a great one.
Did we really not do it? No, I think we did this last week.
Did we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh, okay, man. My memory is
sound familiar, but I don't know.
Was I on? No,
wasn't included in the previously on
last week.
I don't remember last
week.
Yeah, I do not remember.
I do not remember.
So. I don't think we did.
Okay.
I think we just did the ones that were pertinent.
No, this was sent in last week, but we didn't read anything but the Starfield ones, and then we ended it.
I do not remember.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it. I remember seeing it though.
Oh,
right,
maybe
I'll tell you what movie.
Maybe I saw it in the Discord.
I'll tell you what movie I wouldn't pick.
Okay.
Old?
No.
Hello.
Came out last year. It's got a clown in it.
Oh,
named
God,
Art.
Terrifier.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick Terrifier or Terrifier 2. That man is a fucking maniac.
I would pick Hocus Pocus.
Ooh,
that's cheating.
Not a horror movie.
That's
not a horror
cheating.
movie.
That's a children's
That's
not a horror
cheating.
movie.
It's a
It's a horror movie.
film.
It's not a horror movie.
Not a
No.
movie.
No.
Not horror. No.
Scary. There's
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
It's literally made for children.
It's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
It's not.
Have you seen it in
It's
the last
incredibly-
5 years?
I just saw it last year. So
Oh my God! You know what was
Fine. I want to be in double trouble with Mary Kate and Ashley.
the funniest fucking
That
text.
movie's fucking scary.
The
That movie is scary.
The funniest text I've ever received from Tuna was his sheer disappointment in Hocus Pocus 2. He was so disappointed in Hocus Pocus 2 because I think we were talking about it because Brooke was. You were just like Hocus Pocus 2 rubbish.
You know,
It was like such a call.
That new Home Alone though, not bad.
The new Home Alone was actually not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Actually
Best one
wasn't
since
bad.
two. Best one since
It
two.
wasn't that bad. It was actually.
I liked how it's connected to the original
Yeah.
universe.
Such horror movies.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting every
pretty good.
single horror movie ever made.
Same.
Pretty good. Honestly, maybe Saw. What? You're gonna lose a limb. But you know the rules. If you just do the awful thing they want you to do, you're going to get out. You're going to lose a limb, maybe an eye, maybe a leg, maybe an arm. Something's going.
List of
What about
horror
Alien?
Yeah, list of horror movies.
I'd rather go up against one of Saw's contraptions than a xenomorph.
I feel like the Terminator you can take out a lot easier than the movies.
Which Terminator? Are we talking Schwarzenegger or are we talking the Metal Man?
Yeah, 800.
Wait,
well, the
why is that a
1000
horror
is
movie?
much harder. I'm not saying it is. I mean, it has horror elements, but
Oh my god, it's not a horror movie.
I mean,
Action
Terminator and Alien are two sides of the
It's a
same
sci-fi
coin.
action movie.
I guess I could be in like the Meg and just not go in the water.
Again, not a horror movie.
It's listed under horror movies.
Meg 2.
You know what? You know what? Scream. Because Scream is just a dude. It's just a psycho in a mask. It's just a regular fucking person.
That's
all you got. And they've got a knife. Like you could get a gun, you could get a long stick, you could get a bat. Like you can fight off an idiot with a knife. You got a chance.
Is it a horror movie or is it a? Is it
Scream is
like
definitely a horror movie.
Satire because of horror.
It's
borderline.
It's borderline. I'd be in Get Out because I'd be okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. I would be just fine. Get Out's the answer if you're a certain complexion.
I mean, we're not getting a better answer.
I'd be an American Psycho because I'm not at all in that world. So yeah, I'm totally fine.
Tom, that might be one of the funniest things you've ever said on this show.
Good.
Oh,
good.
All of these.
I mean,
suck.
It seems like the right answer.
Oh my god,
for us
in particular. Tuna is a little. How dark. It depends on how much she's been in the sun.
All right, we're gonna do one more from @NoReno. @NoReno. I was watching a TV show, and the classic bit where a child with an ice cream cone drops.
Yeah.
Kid starts crying, got him thinking, what minor inconvenience would elicit that response from you as an adult? Maybe not full on crying, but would irrationally bum you out, even if you could say, just go buy another ice cream. Well, first of all, Alex has like 100 episodes of complaints that
I don't know where this is coming from. Also, like if I did drop my ice cream, I would be fucking pissed that it went on the ground and I'd have to go buy another one. It depends on how far I've walked.
It would be dropping the
It depends on who did it. It depends on if I'm in the car. Did I spill it on myself in the car driving home? Like there's a whole list of things here that the ice cream itself I'm already thinking of that are problems. So the ice cream for me is, I mean, can I just say the ice cream? I mean, anything, dropping I hate when you have to go. I don't like to make more than if I need to go from the car to the house with packages or things that are in the car, I like to do it in the least amount of trips as possible. And if I drop something during one of those, I'm pissed. So yeah.
You know what
I think that's fair.
When you're taking like any kind of medicine or tablet or pill out of a packaging and it's like you're struggling with it, you finally get it open, it falls on the floor, and then you gotta do it again. That shit bothers me. It happens all the time.
Yeah. That's right, Tom. Oh, I mean the ice cream one I had to agree with right away just because I'm a fiend for ice cream. I mean, I get really mad with a lot of car stuff with a lot of other drivers. Today we went to In-N-Out and just the lines at In-N-Out, the way people are very rude with the way people drive, people not using their blinkers. Just
you know what I don't get at places like that? There's only like so many options on the menu, and there's still the people that it's time for them to order. And it's like, oh, I hadn't thought about this at all.
Yeah, 100%. How you stand in line?
Let me stare at this board with 6 options for the next 45 minutes.
When I went to the water park with Therese and John and his girlfriend, we were waiting in line for food, and it took so long because every time someone got up to the front, they're like, well, what do you have? And I'm like, they sell chicken and waffles, popcorn shrimp, chicken sandwiches. There's 3 options. every person in front of us kept being like, I gotta think, well, what do you want?
Do you have any healthy options?
Do you have any healthy options? Yeah, at the water park. That's where you're getting the best healthy fried food that you're ever gonna have. Okay, great.
Okay.
Great. I have something here. I'm seeing if I have my game ready. I don't think you know what? We're going to play it next week because I forgot to tell you. I told you last week to have paper and a pen.
And paper, yeah.
Yeah.
I can get pen and paper. I can get it. Take 2 seconds.
Can anyone else get pen and paper?
I'm literally sitting next to pen and paper.
All right, get a pen and paper. We'll just do a couple.
Sure.
We'll just do 3 of these.
Right.
We'll just do 3 for time.
I think. Let me see if any of this paper's still clean. No, this is grabbing a beer page. Did I run out of paper? Or did it get shoved under things? No, this is my be right back. Gotta grab something.
Okay.
It's not intentional. I'm just trying to find the paper, but apparently I used it all for signs. I'll be right back.
All right.
This is the last thing that I wrote in here with all my Pentiment notes. Did we do that this year or was that last year?
Pretty sure that was
this year.
That was this year. Yeah, it was early this year. The game came out
early
last year.
this year, though. It was
early.
It
was early. It was early. It was early. Lake Mungo. I never heard of that one. The Vivitch.
All right, good to go.
Everybody's ready?
Yeah,
Yes.
Is Dan here?
he's right here.
Well, I was saying that because Dan didn't. I only heard you two.
I was holding my pen and paper.
Okay, great. So here's how this is going to work. We played this one other time and then I forgot about it. And then I remembered. So we're going to play it again. In today's game, I'm going to give you a series of instructions. You're going to draw what I describe. What I'm going to describe is the bust, the head of a video game character. So you're going to draw that based on my description. Everyone's going to guess who they think it is. You're going to draw it, and then you're going to write the name of who you think it is. We're going to reveal. You're going to get a point if you get it right, and then I'm also going to give a bonus point to whoever who did the best drawing of it. Here we go. For your first one. All right, you're going to begin by drawing a large, slightly rounded oval shape. Then you're going to place 2 smaller, evenly spaced ovals on the upper part of that oval. Inside those ovals, you're going to put 2 circles, one in each. Below the ovals, inside the first one, you're going to put 2 small dots just below them. So towards the top of the first original oval on the inside, 2 small dots in the center. And then about halfway down, you're going to draw a simple curved line that goes from one side to the other. And then on the other side of this line, you're going to draw 2 half circles that are going to kind of come and intersect with that line. Does anyone need the instructions again?
Are you? That's it?
That's it.
Dude.
This first one is the test run because I
You
don't
must
know.
be kidding.
I don't know. Here I want to see how
You
little.
must be
Here's the
kidding.
thing. With the first one, I want to see how little information I can give you and how it works, because I don't know how much information I can give you. So if this is horrendous, the second one I'm gonna withhold less. But the first one's sort of a trial balloon here.
I gotta say, this could be literally fucking
This
anything.
could be anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Well, you can write the name of what you think the character is on the paper,
Raphael.
and then when everyone's done that, we're gonna share our pictures.
All right,
So has everyone written their character name on their picture?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, come on, let's go. There's
All
no
right,
way you
that's
fucking
great.
know what this
That's great.
is.
Alex, show us your picture, please.
Nice.
I mean, this is spot on to what the fuck you were saying.
I think he said to draw the ovals above the other oval.
Oh, I thought
That
you
is
said
correct.
toward the top of the oval.
Tom?
Wow. Okay.
Oh, I just heard on that one too. Whatever.
I drew this, and
Can't
oh,
see it.
See anything.
Christ.
Can't see it at all.
Jesus
One
Christ.
second. Oh my
Guy
God.
has the camera. Oh, that's trying to.
Dan, why don't you share yours, please?
Okay,
got
so
it.
now I have a new guess.
I drew the other circles. They have circles in the wrong spot.
I
have
said
Then I
Frogger.
just copied
Okay.
Guess.
Okay. Frogger.
I mean,
okay.
my new guess is Yoshi.
It
but-
is. It is Yoshi.
Oh,
It is Yoshi. It is Yoshi. But again, this was the first one that I did.
Uh-huh.
I had it purposely done I went for an easy one, but also with the absolute least amount of things. Like, I'm going to give you a lot more details this time. Okay. We're going to try it again. Second character.
Yeah.
Oh, who was closest? Tom. Tom gets 1 point because you put the eyes in the right place. So you got 1 point.
There we go.
Let me see Tom's thing. Let me actually see Tom's thing. Oh, okay.
Yep. The dots were the nose and then the mouth.
Mhm.
All right. We're going to start with the head shape. You're going to draw a long, narrow oval. Now for the eyes, you're going to place 2 small, narrow ovals in the upper part of the head, and you're going to add small circles inside each one. All right. Then we're going to do a nose, and it's going to have a simple but elongated nose. For the mouth, I want you to draw an upside down U shape below the nose with a small line in the middle for separation of the lips.
What?
That's lips.
What do you mean a small line separating the lips?
So
You just
you're
told me to
basically
write
going to
an
do
upside
it.
down
You're going to do
U.
like a secondary inner line,
Maybe.
Okay.
In between the mouth and the nose, you should put 2 sideways lightning bolts coming out from the center, one to the left, one to the right. And then on top of the original large oval for the head, you're going to place a large upside down U, and then in between the top of the head and the bottom of this upside down U, you're going to put a sideways C.
Say that again.
So you're going to be creating some headwear. You're going to be putting a large upside down U, and then at the bottom of the upside down U, where it connects with the head, you're going to put a sideways C that connects from one side of the upside down U to the other. So you're going to do a curved line that is horizontal. And then you're going to write your guesses, and we're going to see what we got.
I'm good to go.
I think I'm good.
Alex, are you good?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. All right. Okay. Yeah.
All
Good
right.
to go.
All right. Show it off. What do you got?
Mr. Potato Head.
Come on.
That's pretty good. I got to tell you, drawing wise, that is pretty good. All right,
Come
let's go.
on, you didn't
let's
get
go to
it?
Tom. Let's go to
No, I
Tom.
didn't get it.
His draw might be better, but I think I got it. Oh god, is it still? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would just not readjust it when you
Yep.
go back and do this over and
Waluigi.
over again.
Okay, and Dan.
I also said Waluigi.
Wait, I was gonna guess Waluigi, but this doesn't fucking look like Waluigi.
Oh, all right. I need to look at Dan and Tom's to decide whose is better. They got it correct. This is Waluigi.
This
Those
doesn't
are both...
look anything like Waluigi.
How does this
Well,
not
you
look like
drew it.
Waluigi?
You drew it.
How does that not look like Waluigi?
It's not like Chris drew it.
I know, but his
You
nose is
drew it.
nothing like what you said. And he
He
doesn't
said
have
draw
a long
draw a
oval
nose.
face.
How was I supposed to know at the time?
He has a long face.
He doesn't.
He has a very long, skinny face.
He's a
Yes,
long
he
face and
does.
a hat
a
with a
long
mustache.
oval face. He's got like a
long
triangle.
oval face.
He's
Oh, he's
Yeah,
got
well,
he's got a
triangle
sharp chin,
face.
but the shape is
Face.
you couldn't describe this shape. So I'm like draw. Yeah, you couldn't describe.
Dan, can I
this
see
shape.
yours again?
This is so stupid.
You could maybe say like long oval with a flat bottom, and you get closer or something. But like
Tom,
I
what's
feel
with
like
the
this is fair.
horns? What's the horns?
I drew. You said draw an upside down U, and I drew.
Oh, you drew a
U,
regular U.
and then I would like, yeah. So I mean, you could give it to Dan because he didn't fuck up the hat.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think I like Dan's a little bit better. I have to be honest. But
I'm
they're
curious
both.
what
I think they're
image
both
of
really
Waluigi-
good. They're both really good.
I'm curious what image of Waluigi you're looking at, where it's like
I didn't write these directions. I had the internet do it for me.
Oh my!
Oh,
Now there's your answer, Tuna. There's your answer. Why that isn't Waluigi because it's.
I wanted to see how well it
AI.
would work. I wanted to see how
No,
far
I
separated
gotcha.
I could get from this picture by having something else describe it and then someone else draw it and see if it would still look correct. Turns out pretty good. I just have one more that we're gonna do. Okay. You're gonna begin by drawing a tall, elongated oval shape.
Yeah.
Mhm. Give it a minute before this is the same exact instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Inside the top of the oval, draw a slightly smaller oval, leaving some space around the edges.
What?
Inside the top of the oval, draw a slightly smaller oval, leaving some space around the edges. Now you're going to draw a curved line connecting two sides of the smaller oval. It's going to be a curve where the curve goes down. So from one side of the smaller oval to the other, you're going to do a curved line. Draw a horizontal line across the bottom part of the main oval to indicate the bottom part.
Uh-huh.
On the sides, add some simple angular shapes. You can use trapezoids or other angular shapes
On the sides of what?
of
The
the main oval. Yeah, of the main oval.
On the side.
Yeah, so on the sides of the main oval, add some simple angular shapes or design elements. You can use trapezoids or other angular shapes. All right, let's see what everybody's got.
That's it.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna tell you, their instructions are really bad.
Okay.
I should have wrote them myself, but
I've either got it
I want
or
to
I've
see
got
what
something that's not at
you've
all what
got.
we're going for.
I want to see what you've got more than anything. So let's. Well, I'm gonna wait for everyone else to write their answers, but I want to start with Dan this time.
I wrote mine.
All right. I went with like an Among Us guy.
Oh, Among
Okay.
Us.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay. Alex's is
Egg
technically what I asked
or
for.
Togepi.
He drew a bunch of fucking shapes.
A top.
I do that. I think it's a full guy. I think that's what it was trying to describe.
You know, it would be great if it was an Among Us. You guys are gonna be so mad at this. This is the helmet of Master Chief.
You know, at some point I
What
went.
the hell are you talking about?
At some point I went. I wonder if this is supposed to be
The
Master Chief's
hell
helmet, but no, that looks
What
nothing
are you
like it.
talking about?
I do want to do this again, but I will actually do the instructions
What
the next
the
time
hell
because
are you
I know we did
talking
this. We did
about?
this a long
What
time
the hell
ago.
are you talking about?
And when we did do it, I did Yoshi as a. So I remember those coming out really good, like surprisingly well. So clearly, ChatGPT not up to the task
not up
here.
to speed.
Yeah,
not
so
up
I
to
will.
speed of the human brain.
I won't do this. I'll give this
That
at
was
least a
equivalent to
month
them
beat
drawing
for how
people eating
annoying
pizza.
and terrible this was. But I will do it correctly the next time.
I mean,
I was
this
just
was
curious
terrible.
how it was awful. It was terrible, which
This
is why
was
we're only doing
terrible.
3.
What
Draw
the
an
hell
oval.
are
Bad.
you
Draw another
talking
oval.
about?
This is
Draw
bad.
some more ovals.
Yeah,
Draw-
everything is
Everything's
oval
ovals.
shapes.
Yeah,
everything is
except
a variation.
except for the sides of the helmet, which are angular shapes or
Yeah.
trapezoids.
I don't even understand.
By the way, the top thing that was the visor.
That was the
When-
visor.
When it
Oh,
opened
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
draw elongated oval, I'm like, that's not how I would start this.
No.
So
It's never even that
I
elongated.
will I'll do it the next time. I'll write them correctly. I'll take the time to do it. But it was entertaining for me. And it'll be good for the listeners because I will cut down all the time. So it'll happen really quick. Your anguish will only last moments for their ears. I think it's time to get out of here. What do you guys think?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Next time on Unranked! Christian survived the One Piece cruise! Alex hears the first of several no's from his daughter! Dan wins a big parlay thanks to the Ravens! And Tom called Brit to steal Alex's PSVR! All this and more on the next exciting episode of Unranked!
See you guys next time. Stay unranked.
Nice.
Suck it.